Good morning, everybody. This is Andy. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Frank and I both have blogs. Frank's blog is at franksworld.com. You can also go to franksworld.tv and get redirected over to Frank's YouTube channel. He's got an awesome YouTube channel. And Frank's World of Data Science here online since 1995, but he has a not so funny story about how some of his posts were lost. I also have a blog, andyleonard.blog. And on my blog, I've been blogging a lot about questions about software development. Here's a really short blog. It shouldn't count, but it does. And it's what's the number one skill of software development all software developers need? And the answer is testing. And then a longer post on, is it possible to get software development right the first time? And the short answer is yes, but you probably don't want to pay for that. So anyway, check us out, franksworld.com and andyleonard.blog. And what you're looking at right here is this is the C# behind a product that I maintain at a website called dilmsuite.com. And, in fact, I should have put that in here so you could see it. Data Integration Lifecycle Management. That's what DILM stands for. And this is a suite of tools built. This is actually Catalog Compare. It's built to help you manage the lifecycle, a data integration lifecycle rather, with SSIS. And you would think that would be easy, but you would be wrong. And ask any SSIS developer, and they will share with you the heartache and perhaps pain of attempting to do things like compare the contents of SSIS packages or merge SSIS packages once they've been compared, and you find differences. But this is the behind the scenes peek at that. This is catalog base. It's actually an object that is shared between Catalog Compare, which is for sale, and Catalog Browser, which is not for sale. There's also another product called Cat Compare, command line product, that also uses this code base, and there's a yet to be announced product that does that. Cat Compare, by the way, is a command line interface, or CLI, and you can see there's just a bunch of stuff in here, lots of classes. And this is the Catalog Compare interface is relatively small by comparison, and there's a setup wizard, and then some tree operations. There are tree views in use. We'll see this in use in just a minute. Here's the problem I'm trying to solve. This is an integration services catalog, and if you'll notice by looking at these, the names of these folders here, in fact, I can zoom it here. We can zoom in on it, and you can see this is what software testing looks like, at least a part of it. I've created a bunch of test cases, and would you ever name an SSIS catalog folder exclamation point starts with exclamation? I don't think so, and I kind of hope not, but it's legal. You can do that, and because you can do it, it needs to be tested. These really aren't so much of a problem. The parentheses starts with commas. They look weird, but they're not that big of a deal. What's a big deal? This one right here. See, the apos folder, short for apostrophe, because when you're trying to store metadata or read metadata or script objects, if they have an apostrophe in the middle of them, that can mess up SQL. So not only do I have an apos folder, but contained in it is an apos project. I know it's getting funner and funner, right? And inside of here, wait, the fun doesn't end. There's an apos package, and there's just more and more stuff in here. There's an environment that we use called apos test. Inside of that environment, there's some more stuff, but you can see all these weird names that I've created to try and break it. And this is how I do software development. I know other people do it their way, but my way is to create tests that break the software stuff that I should never see in the field. There's a joke there, but that may break. And I get, I run into quirky errors when I do this. In fact, I'm going to run Catalog Compare now and show you what it looks like. I believe it'll load. I think it's in a state today where it'll actually load the tree. And again, this is kind of a behind the scenes look at at me developing software. I was going to say real software development, but I'll clarify and say how I do it. But I'm going to hook into this instance, and it takes a while to load, especially the first time, and also when I'm sharing. I have no idea why sharing my screen slows down my VMs. There's probably some reason for it, but I do enough remote work and I do a lot of private training for companies remotely, where I teach them about the SSIS Catalog and about Azure Data Factory and related technologies. And I've just seen it happen too often to deny it. There's a lot in here. You saw all those folders. There's projects and environments and relationships and stuff that it's loading. So it takes more time to load more stuff. So I can show you, I'll load a smaller one, and so you can see right after dev runs, I'll load vdemo test here, and you'll be able to see the difference. Now, this video is for Data Driven TV, and Data Driven is the data science podcast where we explore data science and machine learning and artificial intelligence. And it's me, Andy Leonard, and Frank, the owners of the blogs I just shared with you. And Frank is one of those triple threats. He's a certified data scientist, a certified big data person, which is really the data integration certification. And he most recently got the artificial intelligence certification. So super smart guy and a nice guy on top of that. I do have the big data certification and a few classes along the other paths, but I have not snatched the pebble from Frank's hand. And what we see now is it's loaded. This is going to load a really smaller catalog, but you see even then it's taken, you know, a lot of time to kind of spin up, even though there's a lot. So there's a little bit of information there that'll help you with stuff. So some things you can do. You can delete the folder and the contents, which is kind of nice, because in order to delete a folder and its contents in, say, the catalog node here, the integration services catalog node of Management Studio, you have to delete all of the objects and then go in and delete the stuff. I promise I'm not knocking the integration services node in SSMS. It's a fine piece of administrative work, but there are some gaps in managing it. So this did load, by the way, and we can go look at a pause folder here and a pause project that loaded, which is kind of astounding when you consider all of the things it had to do. There's a string value and environment variable that has an apostrophe in the variable. There's an environment variable that has an apostrophe in the name. And I'll show you how to blow this up, but there's just a lot of neat stuff in here. One of my favorite features is called Values Everywhere. I'll take a minute to show you that. Values Everywhere is the ability to find, to just view the value wherever, you know, when you're looking at the node. And to do this in SSMS, you've got to open a couple of windows, but you see I've got a couple references here, one to the parenthetical environment, another to the @pause test environment in the @pause folder. And there's the values, the full values there. If I expanded this out, and, you know, we can see it, but it's just right there where you can, you know, right away you can see there's a connection named @pause tempdb and a connection string that's using an environment that's called a reference. And it's referenced to a particular variable named AW connection string. And you know, when we look at the different references, you can have more than one. Well, there's the two references right here. And then I can expand that and look at the value in those different environments. So kind of nice. My packages are in here. And if I go look at @pause package, I've jacked it up pretty good as well. Also a couple of references in here to values there. And again, right at your fingertips. I love that they're right at your fingertips. A couple of package parameters in the same boat. Again, Values Everywhere as it's showing right here. And another package connection with literal override. So how do we break it? Well, if I right click and I want to generate scripts for the folder and the contents, I'm going to pick a folder here. And I've got a test folder. I'm going to make a brand new folder in here with today's date in it, the 20th. And when I click OK, it'll start scripting that. And it tells me all of the scripts were generated for that. That's shocking. That should not have worked. but maybe I've done more. I've come farther on this than I realized. Let's take a look at what's in here, and I'll, maybe everything did script out. Wow, it looks like everything's scripted out. I don't have any empty scripts over there. And these are all of the things that it does to output those values. Of course, some testing would be that I open this up, connect to my test instance, and deploy it, try deploying it. And if I change this connection to test that other engine and run that, well, that looked like that succeeded. So far, this is turning into a really bad video on test failures. But while I'm here, one of the things that I can do, I'll go ahead and drop that. I've already created that. I'll bet you this breaks. I haven't tried the deploy folder and contents. So this allows me to send everything over to the other side. And I can tell right away that it did not succeed. If I refresh this, I won't see my folder there. I may be able to just deploy the folder object, but there's an error. That's what I was looking for. So just trying to do the folder thing. And why is this giving me a fit? Because I haven't yet fixed this part. I've broken it, but I haven't fixed it. And it's telling me there's incorrect syntax in your folder, and an unclosed quotation mark after the character string folder ID equals folder ID. Where do you think that came from? That unclosed quotation mark? Well, it's that apostrophe. So there's an additional apostrophe in here. There's a way to fix it. You just escape the apostrophe with 2 apostrophes and it works. This is how you store names like O'Connor in a database. So it's possible, but you have to test for that use case. You have to code for that use case. And this is just some of what's involved in software testing. So lots of fun here. I'm enjoying myself, actually. And it's neat to work on a product. It's neat to learn how to become a product manager. There's no better way to learn how to be a product manager and product developer than to develop a product and then manage it. But this is software testing, at least one way to do it. I won't claim that it's the only way to do it. In fact, we're not touching on any of the automation. We're just doing manual tests here. There's a ton of automated test development. And I may show you my test suite here in another live session. But I thank you for hanging around. If you've hung around this long, you can learn more about Catalog Compare at dilmsuite.com. Definitely go check out datadriven.tv. Check out Frank's blog, franksworld.com, and my blog, andyleonard.blog. We'd be happy to interact with you on those blogs. You can keep up with all of our presentations and places we're talking and what we're doing. And of course, check out datadriven.tv for our latest podcast episodes. This is Andy. Hope y'all have a great day.